it's okay, so I can present this information to you. We are talking about the cadastre of territories and objects of natural preserve fund of Poltava Oblast. We have a cadastre about those objects, and in line with that cadastre, this information, by the way, can be obtained at the resource of the state fund of natural resources. This slide shows the analysis of this cadastre as of January 2023. There's a comparative table for 22 and 23 years. There's a slight increase of the number of objects of natural preserve fund, and this is characteristic basically for the entire Poltava Oblast. We compared data from 2020, and the percentage of preserves for our oblast is 4.95%. And this is an increase from 4.5%. So there's a slow growth of the territories which are considered to be preserves. But nevertheless, there are primarily objects of the city status as regards natural and preserve territories. The cadastre of data includes the following information: the title of object, its log type, the area, location, and the organizations they are subordinated to, as well as the decision about setting up this object. This year, we've started in compiling database for objects of natural preserve funds of Poltava Oblast, and we suggest that apart from the data which are included in the public cadastre map, they should also include information related to characteristics and bio and phytodiversity, the functional use of the territories and such like. That's why we suggested the following conceptual model, which can be used for any object of the Natural Preserve Fund. There are different categories, as you can see in this slide. And currently, this information is quite limited. It's included only in the preliminary list of territories and objects of Natural Preserve Fund. It's being done at the oblast authorities level, or if there are no authorities of that kind at the local level, this is done at the national level. By way of example, we use the Nizhny Park. I will show a few slides to you to that effect. The first one gives the general characteristics of the open data included in the public cadastre fund. The area, the decision about setting up this object, and so on. But we understand that for the cadastre of Natural Preserve Fund, this information is not sufficient. Now, the next slide shows, for instance, cadastre for plants. As we see some rare plants, additional information should be provided. But the basis of this is a cartographic material and its precision. We understand that a lot of these pictures were made back in the 50s and 60s of the previous century. And it's only over the last several years that we see more or less accurate cartographic material, maps. Should be added that for the territory of Poltava Oblast, only 50% are the projects of land management, which are close to preserved areas, and the information about them is far from complete. The lands are shown there, but the information is really very limited and insufficient. We suggest it should be provided by way of cartographic materials. There's, like, for instance, for the functional zoning of the area. On the example of Nizhny Sulsky, there are 4 zones. We show their area, percentage of their area, and the regime and the regulations for the use of those territories. There are some prospective territories which can be broadened and qualified as preserve areas. There are also objects which include arable lands, lands of industrial use, and other categories. And at the same time, they are qualified as lands of natural preserve fund. Still, industrial activities are going on there, and the land is being provided for production purposes, which basically means that there's a very improper use of territories of natural reserve fund. The models that I've shown can be used by different administrations of territories of the natural preserve fund, with the purpose of inventorization of resources and for the implementation of research. The Department of Ecology of the Oblast administration is initiating for the next year the update of data on the territories and objects of all national and oblast status. Among the major problems related to the boundaries of the preserve funds is the problem that the users and owners of land plots, excuse me, there's been a glitch. They refuse to provide their lands for the broadening of preserve territories. We have several examples when areas are being broadened and included into the pool of natural preserve lands. Sometimes these lands clash with the interests of those who have certain enterprises there, or even landfills, for that matter. The Department of Ecology supports all the initiatives coming from the scientific board, and we provide recommendations about the boundaries of preserve zones, as well as the ideas related to the update of cadastre of natural preserve lands and territories. That's all I have time for, unfortunately. Sorry for speaking so fast, but